want to welcome everybody here to our park renaming dedication. My name is Steve Phillips. I'm the director of the City of Gainesville's Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Affairs Department. We're very pleased and honored to have everybody here today. So what I'd like to do is get this thing started. I'd like to introduce you, our mayor of Gainesville. Let's give a nice round of applause to Mayor Warren Poe.
How's everyone doing? Wow. There is a lot of love going around this crowd right now. Gainesville love. That's that Gainesville love that Tom grew up on. Well, it's such an honor to be here today and preside over this dedication. This is, of course, just one of many events going on this weekend to honor the memory and celebrate the birthday of our native son, Tom Petty. A couple of folks I just want to recognize real quick and thank for their help with this and everything that we do here. We have a couple of your city commissioners here, good Gainesville people themselves. We've got Harvey Ward, we've got Gail Johnson, and they all have their daughters with them. We've got Adria A. Santos as well. Did you bring your mom, Adrian? No, did mom's? Okay. Usually his mom's with me. Usually my mom's with me too. We also have the Petty family here. So if you're a part of the that you're with us today, and we really thank you for sharing your experience with us. There are all kinds of things going on to really help people come to Gainesville for the first time or back to Gainesville for a homecoming. This is how my daughters are if we give them multiple balloons. I'm familiar with this. Tom's granddaughters, that's wonderful. So I want to thank, well, first of all, Petty Nation. Give us a shout out if you're part of Petty Nation. How many of you are coming to Gainesville for the first time? Welcome to our awesome city, and we hope that you enjoy yourself. Also want to thank Melanie Barr. Melanie Wade, she's up here. She's been doing the bus tour of Gainesville, and I know y'all have been having a great time with that. We also have the Tom Petty Birthday Bash, which has been going on last night, tonight, went into the wee hours down at Depot Park, so I know some of y'all are going to check that out. Tom Petty Weekend at Artwood Soundstage, and they've been putting that on. That's a great video. Come back, check out their schedule. They constantly have incredible music there, and it's the kind of stuff, if you're into Tom Petty, you're going to love what they bring through that amazing venue. So I want to talk a little bit about this park and the dedication and naming of this park. So you can imagine after we all got the crushing news that Tom had died, first of all, a lot of us put his music and his songs on repeat on our phones and our computers, and I have to tell you that his music was everywhere in the air you went in Gainesville for weeks. I mean, every business you went into. I teach out at Santa Fe College, at City Hall. It didn't matter where you went, Tom Petty was in the background, and it was such a beautiful thing. And immediately the requests started coming in for what we're going to do to memorialize him and honor him. Let me tell you, there were some really out there ideas. And I think Tom would have loved them. He would have loved the creativity that went into some of these ideas. And there were some other things, like you should make a statue. It's like, you know, I think Tom was more than just a statue, you know. And so we wanted to take our time, and more than anything, we wanted to hear from his closest friends and his family, what would he like and what would be meaningful to him and his memory. And the thing that kept coming up over and over was this part. That this is where he spent his childhood. This is where he was with his friends and where he escaped and where he played his games and just soaked in the experience that was Gainesville, back in the 70s. And I want to say, because it was a tough decision, the other place that came up was what is now what we call Hogtown Headquarters Park, but it's the old Mudcrutch Ranch. And so we had a hard time thinking, okay, where he spent his time as a child frolicking and playing, or where he cut his teeth and really became the musician that the world would soon discover. But here we are. We went with the childhood dreams and the childhood memories, and that's why we're here. And so this will forever now be known as Tom Petty Park. We're going to do the official dedication in just a second, but there's one thing that I just want to share, a personal connection that we have today on October 20th, 2018 with Tom Petty and what he's meant for Gainesville. This has been Pride Week in the city of Gainesville. Today is Pride Day. In fact, it's just a little bit earlier today. That means a lot to a lot of people right there, folks. We just had our Pride Parade. The Pride Festival is going on all day in Bo Diddley Plaza in downtown Gainesville. But there was a time where it was an act of incredible courage to show up for a Pride Parade or to speak at a Pride Festival. And you know who was at the very first one? Tom Petty. And it shows you the kind of person that he was, the kind of life that he lived. And in his very last tour, he was very vocal on stage about supporting transgender rights. He took it right with him to the end. And so, Tom, we love you for that. There are so many people in this world whose lives are better because of what you did. So let's get down to this. If we could please, first of all, want to recognize a couple of our most important people. We have Bruce Petty and Adria Petty. So if y'all would like to come up and say a few words, the crowd would really appreciate that.
I think Adria and I want to talk together because we figured out a couple of weeks ago we're really good on the radio together. We're going to kind of just talk to you a little bit. Okay. First of all, most importantly, we'd like to thank Mayor Poe and the City of Gainesville for making this possible. And most importantly, to the people of Gainesville, because I know y'all were signing petitions at one point and doing things to make this happen. So we really appreciate that. And also, I wanted to recognize Steve Phillips, right behind me. Steve communicated with me and Adria on this every step of the way through this whole process. And he was just the guy that kind of railroaded everything through and made everything happen. And we're so in debt to him, or we wouldn't be here today. Oh, thank you. I've been asking for one for 30 minutes. I bet if my brother was here, he would have gotten one right away. But anyway, my brother and I grew up in this park, and we played as kids, and it was, my cousin reminded me of my remark the other day that it was a sanctuary, and it really was. It was a place for us to escape, and and be kids and have fun. And so the fact that we're doing this today in the park that we played in is just makes it so much more special to our family and myself. And I know Adria's mother Jane played in this park, and my wife Beth played in this park. My kids have played in this park. And today when we're done, my grandkids and my brother's grandchild are going to play in this park. And I'm a terrible speaker, by the way.
You're doing great.
But I do better on the radio. But anyway, I'm going to turn this over to my beautiful niece, Adria.
Hi, guys. First of all, I just want to say thank you so much to everybody that came out in 90 degrees to dedicate this park to my dad. 95. It's me and Bruce are very reluctant public speakers. I have a face for radio. I'm definitely like not the person that wants to be out here. But I want to thank you because the fans of Tom Petty and the people across the world and the country who share him in common have made this really difficult loss for us just so much easier. And the fact that he could move you to be here, that we're here and that you're a part of our family now in a certain way, I just want to thank you and really welcome you to our family. Say how much it means to my mother, my stepmother Dana, who sadly is not here, and my sister Anna Kim, and my brother Dylan, and my daughter Everly. We are an extended family around my dad who just are so grateful for the love and the compassion and just relating to all of you guys through the last 12 months. Gainesville is an extraordinary place, and if you listen to my dad's music here, it has a different meaning. I don't know if some of the fans have felt that, maybe driving around, but the idea of the air smelling good and the trees were green, I mean, there's nothing like this park to really illustrate that. Dreamville has been blasting in my brain since I landed in Florida. And, you know, what the mayor was saying about this being a really special place that fosters creativity, that fosters all kinds of things, from the athlete in you to the artist in you. It's a very important town to Florida. Florida is a really beautiful, really complex place. And it fosters a lot of intelligence, a lot of compassion, incredible manners, incredible decency, and it's something to be really proud of that my dad was from Gainesville. And I could probably talk about it all day, just how much Florida has meant to me in terms of being somebody that was raised in Los Angeles. I always felt that I was a native of this place, and my mom and dad took me to St. Augustine every year of my life. You know, I really believe in the way people treat each other here, and I love that this town is embracing Pride Week at the same time as my father, because my father wanted people to live what they believed and be who they wanted to be, and not be oppressed by somebody's idea of what is right or wrong. Just be decent. Be decent. And that was my dad. My dad was always about the golden rule in the Sermon on the Mount, you know, and nothing more complex than that. So I'm very blessed to be here. I know Benmont sent me a little list I want to just mention. You know, when's the park dedication? I remember this. So, you know, he wanted me to mention Lipa Music and Marvin Gaye Music Store. Dogs and Keg and Traders and Big Daddy Lounges and every topless bar in the, you know, tri-state area. But I think that, you know, my dad really had a lot of support from the local community. And he wanted me to say how devoted Sandy Stringfellow was to Mudcrutch and the Heartbreakers, and Keith McAllister and Bugs Wydell, Alan Wydell, who is my spirit animal. And Pat Chambers, my godmother, who has just been sort of the #1 cheerleader of this group for a long time and is still kind of keeping us together, keeping the wheels on this family in a certain way. Red Slater, Jim Linehan, whose footage without you would really not see a really important part of the genesis of this band. And a lot of the people who believed early, like Mike Lembo and Ron White, these people I don't know, but who Benmont really wanted me to thank. And just to quote him, he said, "Mostly I think of a town full of music and vibe for days, with baseball diamonds and little parks, and so many really, really good people, and so much love in the air and the promise of endless possibility." So I'll leave you with that, and I thank you for being here. I hope you have a great weekend. We're proud to join you as festival participants, and I give you all my love, and I thank you so much for thinking of my beautiful dad. I miss him every second of every day, every night. And I thank Tom Ledden, too, and the people who were in my dad's musical world who came down here. It's a big deal. So thank you. We love you.
I will say one quick thing. The last 12 months have been the hardest that we've ever dealt with. I know Adria and I. And the love that we felt out of this community during that time has been amazing. You people have really touched us so much. And I haven't had a chance to thank the University of Florida, but when you guys are singing at the end of the third quarter, we watched you from California the first time you did it, and we just all cried. It was amazing. So thank you. Thank you. My daughters were there, actually. But thank the University of Florida. Go Gators. We love you guys. Thank you so much.
We should also thank the Tom Petty Nation and Keith Everland, obviously. I mean, you guys are absolutely out of control, and I thank you, and I think a lot of people have joined in and just seeing what incredible stuff you guys do, so thank you.
Wow, thank you both. Thank you so much for sharing part of your soul with us. And let me tell you, there aren't too many dry eyes in the stadium when we sing that song after the third quarter. I mean, it's still a powerful moment inside Florida Field. And so we're glad to carry, that's the new tradition for Gainesville. That's all due to Tom. I also wanted to recognize Jane. Jane, could you just stand up and wave to everybody, please? Thank you. Such an important part of Tom's life, too. So with that, we are going to unveil, and so if we could have the family please come up. For all of you, after we do this, if you please make your way over to the field, and we're going to do a giant drone shot with all of Petty Nation and everybody else. So make your way over there, and then if the family could just stick around here right afterwards, and we'll do some pictures with the sign, okay? All right, so come on up, and we'll get this done.
What if I pick a layer one?
Nice. Come on up here. Wow.
There's a golf course right here.
Okay, everybody ready? Everybody in place? We're gonna do an old 1, 2, 3 here. All right, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Tom Petty Park.